Number 2.
So let me start by saying that this story isn't really mine, but more of my sister's. But I was there at the time everything happened, and it still freaks me out to this day. My family lived in a small town in England where nothing really happens. We've been living here since I was 3 years old, and nothing bad has ever happened to us. This happened about 2 years ago. My sister was just 17, turning 18 at the time, and she had just finished sixth form. She was about to head off to uni, and the school had decided to hold a school party in town to celebrate the students and whatnot. Bear in mind, the town's only a 5-minute walk from our cul-de-sac on the side of town. She and her friends head off to this party around 7, and everything's good. I take their pictures and they're off. My sister had said to me that our mum said to her that she would meet her halfway after the party because it finished at 11:30, and me being a bored 15-year-old wanted to tag along for a night walk. So that was all set, and when the time came around, my mum and we went to go get my sister. I tried ringing her when we left the house to tell her that we were on our way, but her phone was going straight to voicemail, so I assumed that her phone must have died. We get about 3 minutes down the road and we see my sister walking down the street. And then my mum says, "What is she doing?" And then I said to her, "What do you mean? We're meeting her halfway, right?" And she just looked at me and said, "No, I said we were picking her up." So in my head, I was just like, great. One of the two had obviously misheard the other, and I could tell that the two of them, they were going to get into a fight about the whole thing. But I was suddenly pulled out of my own head when I heard my mother all but shouting and screaming down the road. At first, I was like, what the fuck? And I thought that she was shouting at my sister. But it took me a second to realize that there was a person almost 5 foot behind my sister and had stopped at the end of the road. He was tall, black, and he was wearing all black clothing. My heart jumped in my chest as the realization that my sister had been fucking followed from the party, and all the while my sister was running towards us and my mother was screaming at this guy. The man had now stopped walking when he must have realized that we were actually meeting my sister and not just some random people walking by. Now, I have to say, my mother is not someone you want to mess with. In fact, she can be downright scary when she shouts or gets angry. Trust me. She was shouting things like, "Oi, you fucking bastard! You better not be following my daughter! Fucking come here!" and things like that while storming towards the guy. The guy, on the other hand, was obviously shocked at my mother shouting, and the fact that she was all but running after him now. He took off around the corner and down the road with my mum hot on his heels. My sister had come straight towards me, and I could tell that she was scared. She hadn't noticed the guy behind her, and who knows what would have happened that night if my mum and I hadn't gone to meet her. I was so shocked, I didn't know what to say. The both of us, we just stood there in silence as we watched my mother storm back towards us. She was red-faced and ready to kill someone. My mother looked at me and then demanded that I call the police because she didn't have her phone on her. It took me a second to get over my shock before I ripped out my phone and called 999. As I did, however, my mum started pulling the two of us home with her, and she and my sister, they were shouting at each other, saying, "I told you to stay in town. We were coming to get you." And, "No you didn't. You said to meet me halfway." The police picked up and my mother snatched the phone from me. She was ranting down the phone about what had just happened and that the man, he'd gotten away. The police said to us that they would get to us ASAP. My mother said to the man that they had better because if she saw the man again, she would be going in for murder tonight. And at that second in time, I actually believed her. When we got home, everyone was silent, but it didn't last long as my mother and sister, they started going at each other again, blaming each other for what had happened. I just ran upstairs because I didn't know what to say, and I hated when the two of them fought like this. I could tell that they were both shouting at each other because they were both scared and upset and didn't know what else to do but shout and blame at each other. The police turned up 15 minutes later and they took my mother's statement, and then they left to look for the guy. They never found him, which is fucked up because he's still out there, and that's a scary thought to know a person who stalked my sister and planned on doing who knows what, he's still out there. 2 years have passed now, and my mother and sister are fine. Every now and again, my mum will bring this story up, and it still makes me cringe to this day. I don't think I'll ever be able to not look over my shoulder for the rest of my life, and that's pretty sad to say.
Number 1.
So this is currently happening to me. It's been going on for close to 3 weeks now. I decided to make a profile on Plenty of Fish because I've been single for 8 months now, and I have friends who have had success on there before. I decided, why not? About a month later, I got a message from a very attractive girl, and we actually got along very well. We talked for a few weeks until we decided to exchange our kicks, and that's where everything took a turn for the worse. Within only 4 messages, she revealed to me that her pictures, they were fake, and she proceeded to send me a new one saying, "This is me, I swear, I'm not fake, I promise." The picture was of a girl I knew looked too good to be true, so being a huge fan of the show Catfish, I decided to reverse image search the picture, and sure enough, I found the real girl. I told her about what I found, so she did it again, sent a new picture. I reversed image searched it again, and it was the same thing, not her. At this point, I got fed up and told her to never talk to me again. She became extremely angry. She started calling me every name in the book, telling me that she's a stripper and would pleasure me anytime I wanted, and that I lost out. I started getting messages from new accounts on both Plenty of Fish and Kick, all claiming to be her friend or someone who works with her, but they all talked the same way she did. And I just knew, deep down, they were all her. The friends started sending me messages threatening me, saying, "I know where you live. Her dad will beat the shit out of you." And one that made my heart drop was, "I know you live in Pine Ridge." That's my neighborhood. It went on like this every single day. I would get up to 30 kicks a day from her, never replying. I got sick of it, so I made my Instagram private, deleted my Facebook, took down my profile, made a new kick, and about 5 days went by. And then, the worst thing happened 4 days ago. I got a new message on my new kick. It was a picture from a username called Killer2 coming for you. When I opened it, I almost pissed myself. It was my house from across the street. I could see the window to my room with the light on. I called the cops and, long story short, they told me that they can't do anything because she hasn't physically harmed me yet. Thanks, police. I've been sleeping with a knife under my pillow since then. Thank God she hasn't done anything yet. But today, just a few hours ago, I got a new message on Kick from a friend of hers. I know it's her, but she just flipped. She started swearing hardcore, saying, "Fuck you, fuck your dad, fuck your mum, you're a fucking loser." Me being curious, I decided to sign into my old Kick, and sure enough, 10 new messages. They were all saying how she loved me, but now she's pregnant and has a boyfriend, but that she still loves me and wants to raise the baby boy with me. Sure enough, she sent a new picture of a pregnant girl with a caption at the bottom, proof that I'm pregnant. I saved it and just reversed image searched it again, and sure enough, there's thousands of sites with that picture. Every day, I'm living in fear, waiting for a new message. I'm going to make a new Kick tonight, but she seems to find them easily. I'll keep you guys updated on this, I took a screenshot of the new Kik messages she sent me, so I can definitely verify. I'm sorry, this is a little bit long. Thank you for sticking with me. Please, wish me luck. Update. The day after I shared this story, I definitely deleted my Kik and every other social media but my Facebook, because that's the only way most of my family can get a hold of me. Though I did my best to try and make sure everything I wrote, liked, or posted was private. Today, I got a new message on the message requests in the inbox from a person I won't identify since this is now an investigation. It said, "My sister loved you and you broke her heart, and we will come to kill you." This was this morning and I've called the cops since. They're finally starting to take me a bit more seriously now, as they have at least a name and a message now, and they said they'll do their best to try and help. So, let's hope. G'day mates, it's B-Buster here. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video guys. Thanks again to the Hive members that bravely shared their stories for us all here, and I hope you're all doing well. For the chance to have your story feature in a video, you can send your story to my email, which is in the description below. And as always, keep them coming guys, as this channel relies upon your stories to continue. Also, please do me a favor and just state in your email what your story is about in the description, and also provide me with a short written statement of consent, just so that I can be above board with everything. Please also remember to tell me in the email if you would like to remain anonymous, and please change any names if you don't want particular names to be shared. As always guys, it would be awesome if you could like, share, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for updates throughout the week. You can also catch me on my second channel, all of which have links in the description below. Thanks again for always tuning in and for all the love and support guys, and I'll see you mates in the next one.